What's up, everyone? I'm Sofiya Pasternack. I am a writer and a psychotherapist, and this channel is all about where the two come together. You can also join me just on my writer journey if that's something that interests you. Please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss anything. The video that I'm going to be filming today is the writing rituals tag, and if you have any neat writing rituals that you think I should know about, my phone's ringing. Where was I? Okay. The video that I'm going to be filming today is the writing rituals tag. If you have any fun writing rituals that you think people should know about, throw it down in the comments, share it with us. I don't remember who started this tag. However, at the end when I'm editing and I'm posting this up, I will link them down in the comments below, and maybe somewhere around me I'll even have it written out on the screen. So pay attention for that. Definitely go check out their video and everybody else who posted it in the tag. So question 1, when do I write? I write at the butt crack of dawn. You know what? It is not even dawn. I get up at 4:45 every morning. In the summer, that's kind of dawn. It gets bright pretty early in the summer. But generally, I'm up at 4:45. I drag myself out of bed even when I do not want to. I go and I make some coffee, and then I schlump into my office, shut the door. Now it's winter, so I turn my heater on, and then I just start writing. At 5 o'clock I start, and then at 6 o'clock I stop, take a shower, eat breakfast, get my kids up for school, etc., etc. But that hour in the morning is my writing hour. Nobody else can interfere with that. And when I first started doing it and my brain was not awake yet, it would be like a couple hundred words maybe. But now that I've been doing it for almost a year, pretty much every day, I can pound out 1,000, 2,000 words in an hour, just because I have trained myself. This is when we write, and let's get it all out now, because I have a super busy schedule and there's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to write at any other time of the day. So that's pretty much it. Question 2, how do I seclude myself from the outside world? I have an office that is my kind of writing area. So my family knows that when I'm in there with the door shut and I look very intense, that's my writing. But mostly my seclusion happens because I write so daggum early and nobody else is awake yet. Because even when I have the door shut, my kids will still come in and they'll interrupt, and I need this and I need that. And so I just figured, you know what, I'll get up before anyone else is awake, and that'll be the way for me to seclude myself. Question 3, how do I review what I wrote the previous day? So I'm a pretty fast drafter. I think my record was I did 80,000 words in 26 days, which was a lot. And I write chronologically, so I just start and then go. So I don't super have to remember what I wrote the day before because I don't jump around and I just go chronologically. So what happened the day before is still fresh in my brain when I start writing the next day. But I write in Scrivener, and every chapter or every scene that I write, there's a feature in that where you can put a little kind of tag for what the chapter was about. And I always do those, like 1 or 2 sentences, so that chapter is kind of summed up in a nutshell. And that not only helps me the next day when I'm trying to continue on that scene or continue on that chapter, but when I have finished everything and I'm trying to write a synopsis, and I can just kind of string all of those sentences together, and that's a pretty good start for a synopsis. And that's going to be a future video on how I write synopses. Question 4, what song is my go-to when I'm feeling uninspired? It depends on the project. When I'm writing like big epic high fantasy, I will listen to the Game of Thrones soundtrack, and I can't remember which season it's in. The song is called Son of the Harpy. One of the later seasons, I want to say 5. The cover art is Tyrion standing on a boat and there's a dragon in front of him, so whatever season that is, I think it's 5. And Son of the Harpy, and it's got kind of this kind of creepy atmosphere, and there's creepy vocals in it, and that one can really get my imagination kind of going. The one that I just finished that is my like Soviet fantasy, I would listen to Soviet patriotic music. The translated lyrics can be kind of bonkers a little bit, but the melody themselves are pretty intense, and they can kind of get you going. So it depends on the project that I'm doing. It depends on the type of mood I need to be in while I'm writing. But Game of Thrones is a really good one. And then if you're writing in a particular time period, picking music from that time period and from that country can kind of get you into that mindset, that space. Question 5, what do I always do when I find myself struggling with writer's block? I think that writer's block, this is my personal take on writer's block, is that it is your brain's way of telling you something is wrong here. Your character isn't right. The story is not going in the proper direction, something. So I will kind of go back to the drawing board and, okay, my character is doing this, maybe they need to be doing this. Or my story is going this direction, maybe it needs to be going in this direction. I talked in another video about the boiling water trick. If I think I'm stuck on a world building problem, then I will, make my character boil water. And what that basically means is, to boil water, you need a pot of water and a heat source, right? Well, where did your character get the pot? What's the pot made out of? Where was that mined? How did they get it? How was the pot made? Is it passed down? Did they buy it at Costco? Where'd the water come from? Is the water safe? Did they need to disinfect it first? How did they get the fire? And so on and so forth. So once you have kind of worked through that how to boil water problem, a lot of times it has jogged your memory out of, or not jogged, it has kind of moved you out of this mindset of I'm stuck over here, and instead you kind of loosen up your mind and you can get ideas flowing. Question 6, what tools do I use when I'm writing? I use Scrivener to draft, and I use Word to do final edits. So Scrivener, I really love how it is set up to draft and put 2 screens side by side. And I have my outline there, and I have all my research, and it's just one program to open up. And I really, really love that about Scrivener. I'll use Scrivener for like my first several revisions through. Once I export the project either to send to beta readers, to send to my agent, to print out, to do whatever, that's it. I never do another revision in Scrivener because trying to line up those 2 different documents is a nightmare, and I try to do it and it's just a disaster. So once I export out of Scrivener, that is it, and now we're only working in that Word document. So usually I use Word for my very final edits, and that's basically it. Those are my 2 programs. That's all I do. Question 7, what is the one thing I can't live without during a writing session? I'm going to skip the obvious, which is my laptop. I cannot write without my laptop. I can't write longhand. That's just not how I can't write fast enough, and I'll lose an idea before I can write it down. So the other thing that I can't live without would be caffeine, some kind of a drink. I start out in the morning with coffee, and then I will move on to like tea as I go out throughout the day. I always want to have something on my desk that I can be drinking or snacking on or something like that. It just, it's a comfort. That's my habit. I need that with me. Usually a warm drink. That helps way more than cold. Oh, the 8 is kind of related to 7. What do I fuel myself? What do I use to fuel myself during writing sessions? Coffee, tea, warm drinks. To snack, I'll have nuts on my desk, almonds or something like that. Or sometimes, and I know I shouldn't do this, I will reward myself. If I write 500 words, I can have a cookie. It's not a great habit to get into. Please don't do it. I'm stuck. So, I do that. But for fuel, just little snacky things, and something that doesn't make my fingers too messy. Sometimes I just need to eat popcorn, and that's always kind of a nightmare because it's buttered and then I get butter everywhere. So, final question. How do I know when I am done writing? So, done drafting that's the easy part. Drafting is very easy for me. I know I'm done drafting when I get to the end of my outline and the story has wrapped up, but very rarely is that it. I'm going to amend that. Never is that it. You always have to go back and revise. If you're drafting once and then I'm done, it's done, you're wrong. You have to go back and you have to revise it. You have to edit it. So I make notes as I'm drafting. I need to change this. I need to change this later. So my first revision is going back and doing all of those notes that I left myself the first time. and then revise again and again and again. Have somebody read it, revise again and again and again. And I know that I'm done when I am too exhausted to revise anymore, I guess, when I have completely expended every bit of energy. And sometimes that means done for now and just shelve it for a little bit, stick it in a drawer, and come back to it in a few months. And sometimes that means send it to my agent or the editor and see what they have to say about it. I think that every book that has ever been published by anyone ever, there's something the author wanted to change, but they said, you know what? I need to be done. I need to stop tinkering. I need to be done. So every book has something in it that the author wishes that they could have gone back and rewritten, but you just have to call it at some point. That's the video. That was the writing rituals tag. And again, I will link to the original creator of that below because I can't remember who they are at this point. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know that you enjoyed it and I can make other videos like it in the future. Also, if you're interested in how psychotherapy and writing meet up in order to create really good and compelling characters, that's what this channel is going to be all about. So please subscribe so that you can be here whenever I post a video. On my website, I have a newsletter sign up, and in that newsletter, it's kind of all the stuff that I really want to talk about on my social media, but I don't want to clutter it up. So if you want to know about things that I bake or all the goats that I really love, things that are going on with my book and my writing, my books, plural, I guess, and my writing, subscribe to that newsletter so you're the first to know all the cool news going on with me. Thanks for joining me here, and have a great day.